Hello everyone, dear friends. A very interesting tactical device was sent for repair. This is a portable Mifa Tango speaker. Of course, it is currently inoperative. The owner reported a defect, the battery died. It was sent specifically to replace the battery. For some reason, the owner is 100% sure that the problem is in the battery. Although at the moment the speaker does not turn on, does not respond to pressing the power button. When connecting the cable from the charger, there is no current consumption. The red indicator on the speaker itself is blinking. So, at first glance, I would not say that the problem here could be in the battery malfunction. After all, the device should still charge, even with a battery that has lost capacity. Well, let's figure it out. I will spoil the outcome of the repair a little, saying that the problem really was not in the battery. Although I also replaced it at the request of the owner. But more about everything a little later. And we will start, of course, with disassembling the case. It is necessary to check what is with the battery, and also to understand why charging does not occur. I unscrew the screws and remove the decorative covers. It seemed interesting that the positive emitters are located on both sides of the case. Let's continue disassembling. I unscrew a couple more screws and split the case in half. Be careful, because the buttons have a cable that is easily damaged. I unscrew a few more screws and remove the cover. A truly tactical speaker. They even put a rubber seal to make the case airtight. All the electronics are here. This is the Bluetooth module. I check the voltage on the battery with a multimeter. There is no voltage. The battery is deeply discharged. It needs to be recharged from a laboratory power source. I set the voltage to 4.3 volts, current 2A, and connect it to the positive and negative contacts of the battery. The voltage drops to almost 2.6 V. This is a very low value, which may indicate a possible self-discharge of the cell itself, because the BMS turns it off at a voltage of about 2.9 V. Well, accordingly, the column could not discharge it to a voltage below this value. In any case, I think that it is worth organizing the charging process in a more convenient way, so I disconnect the battery connector and connect the terminals to it directly. At a current of 2A, the charging process takes a very long time. By the way, let's see what kind of battery is here. I remove it from the case. It uses a 21700 element for 5Ah. That is, it is guaranteed to be charged with a current of 5A. I gave it 4. Recharged it to a voltage of almost 3.8 V. Then I connected it to the board so that the standard charging system continued the process. However, the maximum current that I saw from the charger was 100 milliamperes, which is extremely little for this type of battery. Normally, it should be more than 1A, maybe even more than 2A, so that there is an adequate charging time with a duration of about 2 hours. In general, the speaker clearly has some problem with the charging system. There are no charging circuits on this side of the electronics board, so I remove the board and inspect it from the back. Of all that is here, this IP5310 microcircuit most closely resembles a charging controller. To find out whether it is a charging controller, you need to read the datasheet for it. It is freely available. And here it is indicated that the microcircuit is a whole system on a crystal and includes a charging controller with a current of up to 3A. That is, this is exactly what we are interested in, the charging controller. Since there are no traces of burnout, flooding or any other obvious defects here, then, most likely, we are talking about the failure of this microcircuit. It is necessary to replace it with a new one and check the result. To be sure, it would be worth checking, for example, the supply of 5 volts voltage to the microcircuit from the power connector. Well, to be honest, I haven't encountered a malfunction of the connectors themselves for so long that I didn't even think about it. Besides, its external condition didn't cause me any complaints. The cable is installed and removed perfectly, and there were no defects inside either. I bought one new microcircuit. We'll change it. First, I remove the foam tape around the memory card slot. I heat it up with a hairdryer so as not to tear it. The temperature is no more than 100 degrees, so as not to melt or damage it, because I don't have the same new tape. Done. I fix the board on the mounting table. Then I solder it into the old microcircuit. Done. I pre-tin the leads of the new microcircuit with lead solder to make the soldering process easier. I also solder the mounting contacts on the board. I throw on the new part. I install it according to the key. At first I mixed it up, but I noticed the mistake in time and installed it correctly. I warm up the chip and wait for the solder to melt. Then I rock it and press on the chip to remove excess solder. At this point, the process is almost complete. Lately, I have noticed that many devices do not use lead-free solder. Personally, in my opinion, this board is mounted on lead. Soldering is easy and at a low temperature, especially if you compare similar work with video card boards, for example. There, you often have to turn the heat gun up to the maximum to solder something out. To be 100% sure of the quality of the installation, I go over the chip leads with a soldering iron. I wash off the spent flux and check the quality of the soldering under a microscope. There are solder beads on all the chip leads. No leads are hanging in the air, and this is good. I install the board in place, connect the battery and check the result. The current consumption is 1.6 A. The first LED of the charge level indicator is on. After some time, the battery recharged, and now 3 LEDs are on. The charging current is the same, 1.6 A. I fully charged the battery. The voltage on it is 4.17 V. Excellent. But the owner wanted to replace the battery, as he uses the speaker almost every day. He charges it every day, and after a year it seemed that it began to hold a charge worse. I bought a new battery. I opened the old battery, removed the BMS board with wires from it and transfer it to the new battery. I installed it by soldering. Personally, I have no complaints about this connection method. I assemble the new battery and install it in place. Then I assemble the speaker itself and proceed to testing. I did not find any additional defects during the testing and this completed the repair. Soon the speaker will be sent back to the subscriber to perform its tactical tasks. Well, as for the old battery, it really turned out to be non-working. It has a significant self-discharge. In 3 days it discharged from 3.83 volts to 3.65. I think that in about a couple of weeks it will definitely drop to 0. Well, that is, it was not in vain that it was replaced. Well, dear friends, I will finish today. Thank you all for your attention and see you in new repairs. Until next time.